Hello everybody and welcome back to Victoria, where we are constructing away. We're currently slightly negative and we've built up a bit of credit. That is true. But the reason that this is happening is because we're building like oil rigs and such, right? Oil rig subsidies, sure, that's fine. We're up to 9.27 million population now. That's a very big boon. And Peru-Bolivia is, I believe, still in that defensive pact with Russia. We just can't attack them when they're in that case. So that's unfortunate. We have dipped back positive in our finances, and we expect that to continue as we finish up our maize farms. Can we spend our investment pool on oil extractors? We can. Okay, noted. We now have access to making our own silk. That is a big deal. We need to go into synthetics plants and work on that. Fantastic. So there we go. We now have another tech that we can work on. What do we want here? Electrical capacitors? Sure, that seems reasonable. We're now up to 120 million GDP. Our GDP is going up so fast. So incredibly, incredibly fast right now. So this is looking good, right? We're going to get our oil rigs done. We have Brazil as kind of our quasi-vassal here since they're in our customs union. Ultimately, we'd like to make them into a protectorate. But for now, that's not that big of a deal. I want to check in here. Yeah, our military wages are up right now. Okay. The party will never end. Beautiful. More loyalists. I like it. So we're up to 3.36 million loyalists. Over a third of our population is a loyalist now. I'm noting us dipping negative on our bureaucracy here. We should probably think about expanding a government administration somewhere, and it pretty much needs to be Buenos Aires. That's where the peasants are. So we'll build it there. That will be a top priority. We'll get that done, and that will turn our bureaucracy on around. Let's see. We have an input goods shortage of ironclads. I'm not concerned about that right now. All of these things are currently expensive. That's expected. And we do have some unused construction production right now. That's okay. We're going to have more auto queues happen soon. I think that happens after 26 weeks. It's awkward, though, when we don't have this full, right? That's really strange. I feel like Paradox should address that and have it auto queue if there's open construction, right? I feel like that should happen. But it's not. That's not the way that works. So for now, we'll just tick on forward, and we should, after this week, soon anyway, maybe after this week, see additional get queued up. Cool. Explosives, coal, automobiles. Yeah, there's a bunch getting queued up there. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted to see. And that's great. So those will get done eventually. And that's looking good. We do want to get this government administration done as soon as we can. Our loyalists are continuing to creep upward. If we look at our legitimacy, we're currently at 95. That's pretty good. We can't get any higher than that right now unless we were to cut taxes. And actually, cutting taxes is potentially a valid move here. Soon. Not yet, but soon. Okay. We're going to probably dip negative in our income as we start working on all these plantations, ranches, and farms. Those we cannot pull out of our investment pool. So that's absolutely noted. Electrical capacitors have been unlocked. That's great. That gives us more production methods. And we're definitely going to put in those production methods. So automatic power looms, electric sewing machines for our textile mills. And that apparently drops us down to a productivity of 0. I'm not sure how true that really is. But brine electrolysis, fantastic. And our shipyards are fine. I would like to go down to arcades, actually. Let's go ahead and do that. And what else do we have here? Tractors. Fantastic. We can go down to tractors for our maize farms as well. Livestock ranches down to mechanized slaughterhouses. I like it. Anything else that is a decent change? Not for the moment. Okay. Sounds good. We could go down to a modern port. And actually, that's probably worthwhile. We'll go ahead and do that. Do we want to go to steel passenger carriages? That'll just absolutely tank the price of transportation. And raise the price of steel quite a lot. I think for the moment, we don't. Okay, so we've got other potential production upgrades here to do. Automatic bottle blowers would take 3 years. Oil turbines would take 9 years. What is currently being exposed to us? Trench works? Okay, I'm not too concerned about that. What about in society? Malaria prevention. Okay, that's not the greatest either. We could go for modern financial instruments, honestly, and get that extra 10% minting. Let's do it. That looks good. Brazil have declared Great Britain to be their rival. Okay, and we've started getting knowledge of electric railways. So what are we at right now? We see an electricity input goods shortage. Okay, we are building a power plant. Are we going to need more power plants, though? So how much power do we actually have here? Let's see, in the Argentinian market. Yeah, that's a lot needed. About 2,000, to be precise. Can we upgrade our power plants at all? Let's see here. No, we can't go to oil-fired plants just yet. Okay, so we're probably going to need to get quite a lot more power plants, right? We already have 15 in Santiago. I think for the moment, we'll just let it auto-expand. I think this is reasonably okay. Yes, I think it's reasonably fine. This will finish up in 14 weeks. That's looking good. All of these will finish up eventually. And our population is continuing to cruise upward at 150,000 annually. Our standard of living is number 7 worldwide. Our GDP is number 8 worldwide, and our GDP per capita is number 2 worldwide. So things are definitely going well there, right? That's definitely going well. We do need more electricity. That's definitely something that we need. Glass is going to be a thing too. Okay, so we just got newly formed parties. Did that affect our government legitimacy? It did not. Excellent. We are going to have a election happening in 170 days. That's reasonably fine. For whom the bell tolls, huh? We'll go with the popular but inept candidate. Okay. So we are chilling a bit negative right now, and our authority is actually negative as well. So we should probably drop a greener grass campaign here. Let's see here. This one is probably no longer necessary. So we'll drop that. Cool. That's looking reasonably fine. We do still have gold reserves at this moment, and we've got a big investment pool. But that's primarily because we're not pulling from our investment pool at this moment. So that's certainly noted. We would eventually like to go to arc-welded buildings, but that's going to be incredibly expensive. That said, we'll probably be able to afford it once we have it available. But there is only 12 years left here. So Peru, Bolivia, I would really like to attack them, but with that defensive pact with Russia, there's just no way, right? It seems reasonably fine to end the game in this state. Honestly, I would call this Ascendant. We're position 8 in the world right now. We're getting close to being a great power. How is prestige generated? GDP, power projection, and country tier. And if we're the world leader in the production of a certain good. Okay, so just boosting our GDP will boost our prestige. Sounds great. This election will be done in 100 days. And how's that going? The Radical Civic Union is got some momentum, but the Social Democratic Party is in the lead. So that sounds good. Triumph of the trade unions, huh? Oh, Path to Socialism was successfully completed. Okay. Sure, so they get new communist government for 5 years. Oh, okay. I don't think we're actually communist, but... Sure? We're just a republic. That did drop our legitimacy down to 89. That said, we can put the trade unions into power. We'll gain a few radicals and lose a few loyalists, but we'll go back to a righteous government. Done. Consider it done. Okay. So the Social Democratic Party is The trade unions and the rural folk. Got it. We'll see how legitimate we are after this election. That'll be very interesting to see. How are we doing on our electricity? Okay, it's looking good. Glass is expensive right now. We don't appear to be expanding our glass industry. It is going to be expanded eventually. Cool. So that'll be done soon enough. Hang on, I wanted to check here real quick. The #1 glassworks in the world. I like it. Beautiful. So we're very positive in our income right now, right? Very, very positive. And we're still adding to our investment pool as well. I think we should expand our construction sector again. I'm going to queue this up to 10. And we'll see how that feels. If we need to continue expanding it, I was tempted to double it. I was very tempted. But I don't think that's a smart idea, to be honest. So we'll get these construction sectors finished up. Those will go quite quickly. Excellent. And we'll start pouring more construction in. Our GDP is still skyrocketing. And our peasant count is holding steady. So that's fascinating. I definitely think it's worthwhile to expand our construction sectors. So bring that on up and continue to construct faster and faster. Okay, we're now pulling out of our investment pool. That's a good sign. Social Democratic Party wins, but by how much? Yeah, we're currently an unacceptable government because we didn't get all that much of the vote. That was kind of what I expected. This is the best we can do, though. We could cut taxes, and that'll bring us back to a contested government, so at least this will hold relatively firm. Because our standard of living is coming up, overall, it should continue to increase the number of loyalists, but it's definitely not going to be as good as if our legitimacy was fully up the way it was previously. We'll keep an eye on our legitimacy and see if we have a better option later, but for the time being, it is what it is. And yeah, we're dipping slightly negative in our finances right now. And we're also, we're mostly pulling out of our investment pool. Okay. So we're definitely not wanting to expand our construction sector more. That's for sure right now. I'm completely fine with running this slight deficit. We've got 1 million gold in the bank, and we've got 4 million in our investment pool. This is fine. This is completely and totally fine. We are continuing to tear our way through this construction queue, and more should be getting queued up. And indeed it is. Because we've only got 14 weeks in this pool right now. So we should definitely see more things getting queued up here. The leader of the Catholic Church has expressed their concerns about government decisions favoring the industrialists. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Inefficient agriculture, huh? Yes, absolutely. Migration attraction. Sounds good. We're back to being positive, and that is because we're pulling out of our investment pool harder. That's good. We definitely want to get money out of that investment pool. It's kind of wasted just sitting there. War profiteering, huh? We shouldn't be shamed for good craftsmanship. Get out of here. We also have this free government reform. It's not useful. We're not going to use it. Electricity input goods shortage right now. Low market access in Santa Fe. So that's already being worked on. Looks good. The auto expand caught that one. And we're going to have this power plant expanding in 9 weeks. So that's all looking good. Only 8 weeks on this construction queue. Yikes. Yikes indeed. But we are definitely queuing more things up and getting a lot of stuff built. We're just not quite maxing out our construction queue. Okay, trench works have been unlocked, giving us some production methods for our livestock ranches. Okay, of all things. Sure. Let's hop over here and grab trench infantry then. Now that's going to be expensive, right? Very expensive. Barbed wire fences are available, but we're on electric, so I think we'll chill here. There we go. Cool. So that's looking good. Electricity is going to be getting better. I don't think it's going to be fixed with this power plant. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be fixed per se, but it will get better. We see a dye plantation getting put in here. That looks good. And yeah, we're definitely constructing things very quickly now. So that's great. 9.5 million. We do dip negative in our finances here. We expect this to fluctuate as we're adding and subtracting from our investment pool. It's not a concern. 140 million is our current GDP. We are skyrocketing in GDP right now. Our standard of living isn't exactly keeping up, but that's fine. We can eventually drop these consumption taxes and our taxation level and then start working on bringing up the minimum wage somewhat. We're going to have to be careful on that, though. We're definitely going to have to be careful. So yeah, the reason we're negative right now in our finances is because we're not pulling out of our investment pool, because we're building large amounts of things like plantations, ranches, things like that. Cool. We can support more declared interests. I don't think there's a reason to, though, realistically. I'd love to attack Peru, Bolivia. That would be a really good move. But that Russian defensive pact is spooky. I don't think we can win that before Russia shows up. And Russia is very, very scary to us. So that's going to be a problem. For the moment, I'm fine with just continuing to eclipse them economically. That's very much happening. Let's check in on Brazil and see if they are willing to become a protectorate yet. No, minus 48. That's getting better. That's definitely getting better. If we were to bump up to a great power, which we're well on our way to doing, we might be able to get there. We're actually only 100 prestige away from becoming a great power. So that's looking good. Yeah, our loyalists are dropping off a little bit here. That's due to our legitimacy, almost certainly. Unfortunately, with that last election being as split as it was, there's not a lot we can do about that. Ooh, and we don't have much queued up right now. Hopefully that changes on this week tick. It didn't. Because there's 28 weeks left here. Yeah, see, I feel like if there's unused construction capacity, it should auto-queue. I really think that. I also think that we should consider bringing Cordoba up to 15. There we go. Cool. And that fooled it into thinking that there's less time. So what we need to do is just keep, like, the top one on top, right? So it's currently thinking that there's 8 weeks in the construction queue because the last one has 8 weeks on it. That's a very naive way to go about that. Interesting. So this tooling workshop should absolutely be brought up. Okay. So because we expanded our construction even further, we're going to be going negative here. But we want this to be pulling out of the investment pool, right? That is our primary goal. Pull out of that investment pool. So that'll be fine. We've got 6 weeks left here, so it should queue up more things if they're available. 7 weeks left. And it did queue up that coffee plantation. Cool. So that'll be fine. Our radicals and our loyalists are definitely switching around. Hopefully that won't be the case for too much longer. We apparently dropped down to position 9 in the world. That's interesting. Interesting indeed. So, bumping up our government wages does not get us additional prestige. Noted. For the moment, this is completely fine. I'm completely comfortable running this deficit. It looks good to me. No problem whatsoever there. We're just tearing through this construction queue and getting that done as quickly as possible. So 5 weeks left in our construction queue here. Yep, that looks good. It should queue up more if there's more available. Have we queued up our glassworks over here? We haven't. Is that not on auto expand? Hang on. It's not. Well, that'll be the problem. We'll go ahead and get that on auto expand. Rubber plantations, if we could. Same with gold mines. That's not possible to auto expand. Okay. So now it should queue up the glassworks. Yeah, there we go. Fantastic. So that's underway. We're positive right now, and we are pulling out of our investment pool. That's good. We're negative on the investment pool. That's exactly what we want. We want to use this money. We want to put that to a good use. So that'll be fine. I wish there was a way to pause construction unless it's pulling from the investment pool. That would be an interesting way to do it. That would mean that you wouldn't be able to build certain things, right? When you had that paused. But you'd be able to build other things, and that would never affect this balance number, which would be a big deal, actually. So as long as you're aware of what you can't construct, it should be fine. So what do we got going on here? Glass, oil, steel are all expensive. Radios, input goods shortage. They're made by electrics industries. Do we have the tech for that? Let's see here. Where's our electrics industry? Here it is. No, we do not have the tech for that. Okay, noted. I do want to check this in Uruguay. Okay, it's going negative right now. That's fine. No real problem there. We're going to continue to work on some of our basic costs. Things like steel, tools, things like that for now. Cool. This is looking great. We're going to run out of ways to spend money, of course. We could consider dropping our taxes yet again. That's going to drop us by about 48k. Malaria prevention has been unlocked. Not like that's useful for us. We're already sacking our colonial affairs, so that's fine. We're actually only 6 prestige away from becoming a great power. Fascinating. It's a bit of a moving target, but that's fine. Checking in here, 9.62 million. And we've still got 200,000 peasants. We are starting to chip away at our number of peasants. And we're also running out of things to auto-expand, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. That means that things are going pretty well for us. This trade route is inactive, and that's fine. We can get rid of it. We did queue up a number more things here, so that's good. Yeah, those will get finished up quite quickly. No real problem there. Man, we're constructing really fast. Look at all this. That is insane. Absolutely insane. So we're going to get these glassworks done soon enough. Electric railways have been unlocked. So that's going to give us access to a lot more electricity spending, right? And we can probably do that. We can go to electric engines to produce more engines. This is going to definitely cap our electric cost. No doubt about that. So we can do that for the moment. And what else did we want to do? It was mostly in the rural industries, I think. Things like refrigerated cars. Where were you? Yeah, rail log carts here. That'll be good. Refrigerated rail cars. That'll use electricity, as will this. So electricity is going to be an input goods shortage. We know this for an absolute fact. I'm going to take this power plant, and I'm going to expand it up to 20. $25. Okay. So we've got a lot of power plants that we're working on. No doubt about that. We're pulling out of our investment pool heavily right now as we build these power plants, and that's really good. We're very happy about that, actually. With that being the case, we may actually want to consider bringing this up to 30. Like that. So looking at this over the entire market, yeah, we need to drastically increase this. Venezuela wants a trade agreement. Okay, sure. For now, that's fine. Checking in on Peru, Bolivia again. They're still in that defensive pact with Russia. I suspect that's not going anywhere, to be honest. The electricity input goods shortage is hurting us, for sure. But we will definitely start to work on that soon. Like, that will be done very shortly. We don't have that many peasants to work in our power plant here. That's something to think about. But that should drive some migration anyway. So that should be okay. And with that, it is time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode... Oh, hey, we reached a great power. I was going to say that next episode we're likely going to, but we got there. Fantastic. That is absolutely great. We're going to keep soaring our GDP. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including Casserole, ALS Gamer, Kentuin, James, Shadowwolf, Mlohan80, Kentogan, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Unisul, Kadra, Rogue Corvid, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.